Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. Hey, everybody, we are live. I don't know how it's Saturday already, but somehow it is, and we're back. Hope everybody's been having a great week so far. And of course, Animal Con's going on, so I'm sure there's a bunch of people that are down there. Looks like they're having a blast. It was pretty cool. I seen Bob Bledsoe on earlier. He had it looked like a capuchin monkey, I guess I was, swinging on his beard. Freaking hilarious. One of these days, I'm going to make it down to that. But let's see. I got to remember to put the banner on. Oh, let's see. Okay, the USARK banner is up. And let's see who's with us so far. Erica, good to see ya. Mike, I'm doing okay. No worse for wear, I guess. Kara's with us. Good to see ya. Christina, it's fortuitous that you're on tonight because you're I just happen to have your buddy out as a co-host who is cruising around doing something. I think he's looking out the window. So I know a lot of people have been asking for Charlie to come back out. So he's out. I'm sure he'll come up here and say hello in just a second. He's hanging out on the back of the chair. So it's good to see ya. Chase, what's up? How you doing, man? Travis, good evening, sir. What else? Erica is with us. Yep, we got Charlie out, and he's right there. Are you going to come up? He's been pretty needy here. He's been out for a little while so far. Every time I step away, he swings over and starts hanging out on me. I guess he's wanting to just do his own thing now. Yes, indeed. That's your main man. I have got a, I know we've got a picture or a video somewhere of one of the events that we did last year. It actually started raining on us. And it was summertime. It was nice, warm rain, of course. But Christina and Charlie here was hanging out in the rain. They was loving it. So, Megan, good to see you. Happy Saturday. Hey, John is with us on the road, so he won't be typing. Okay, we'll drive safely. We don't want to read about you in the paper or nothing. So, voice to text. Don't worry about the typos. We'll figure it out. I know most of us are fluent in typo. Oh, man. Yep. There he comes. You want to come hang out? He's such a good boy. Donna, good to see ya. Oh, yeah. Charlie's a good boy. He's one of the best snakes we got here. He had a pretty rough start. Those of you guys that don't know, he actually came to us from a house fire. He didn't get burned, but it was during the wintertime. And unfortunately, they ended up losing power. He got a pretty bad respiratory infection out of the whole episode. We ended up getting him and had to actually give him some antibiotics to get him over that. But he is doing good now. So, so we'll see. I'll let him hang out. I'm sure he'll come up and say hello as he wants to. Oh, man. But it has been incredibly busy week here, as usual. Hey, Gerald, how you doing, man? So you guys will definitely have to help me out here. you guys got anything that you want to talk about, go ahead and throw it down in the chat. We will definitely hit it. Hey, Worm, finally able to catch a live while it's streaming. Yep. Good to see you, man. Oh, man. So, yeah, it's been incredibly crazy around here. I have been spending a pretty good deal of time on the photography, fortunately. I have a little bit of extra time for that now. So I've been spending a lot of time chasing the eagles around. I actually did manage to get here a few days ago. I was back at Lake Jordan and managed to catch my very first image of two eagles out there fighting for a fish. So that was pretty cool. I have to put that up here in a minute. I'll see if I can find it. Some of them shots have just been coming out really great. So let's see. Have I heard any updates about Dingo or what bit him? I have not. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen anything come out about that. I've seen one post on his Instagram that his wife put out saying that he had been bitten by something, and it happened like a week prior to when this post came out. And said he was in the ICU at the time. I have heard absolutely nothing else about that. So if anybody has heard anything, I would be curious to see how he's doing. Hopefully everything comes out okay. I know, based on some stuff he said in the past, I guess he has a sensitivity to venom as it is, hypersensitivity. So, he knew that any kind of a bite was going to be bad for him. So hopefully, we're all thinking about him. I would like to get some news. I hope he's doing okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did have Colubrid Fest. That was really cool. I seen some pictures. Oh, man. It was, yeah. I can't remember where I saw it was. I think it was maybe on your Instagram, Christina, where you saw it's pictures of you with the military morphs guys. So, but yeah, it looked like it was a good idea, or looked like it was a good time rather. So, yep, that was the same thing I heard. Heard he was in an induced coma. So, oh. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. It takes. Chase was saying he hadn't been able to get any eagle pictures yet. It takes a lot of patience to catch these guys. Hey, good to see ya. Let's see if I can find one of them real quick. I'll put it up so I can kind of show you guys what I've been able to pull off out of there. Yeah, you gonna come hang out again? Let's see, where is my processed stuff? Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. It's it's on the wrong monitor. This was far enough away that it didn't even blur the background for me, and I didn't edit it a whole lot. I'll put this up in just a second. Alan, how you doing, man? Good to see you. He says, how long does it take to tame down a Nile monitor? That depends on the animal. I've seen a couple of them that were just puppy dog tame and real easy to work with. Most of them, I think, a lot of the other people I know that keep Nile monitors say that they very rarely see a bunch of them that completely chill out. Mine does pretty good. Like I said, I've got the video out here not too long ago where he decided to bite me again. They're just, you've just got to keep an eye on these guys. They are so spirited. that you definitely can't give them any slack. You know, you can work with them the same way you do any other monitor lizard. You can make good headway with them, but I think it's a very special animal and a very special keeper combined that makes Niles really tractable. Not too many people I've talked to have really had adults that were puppy dog tame like you would think of a, like an Asian water monitor or something like that. So it's hard to say. There's no solid answer on how long it takes to tame them down. I do know that it takes a lot of time working with them. So, let's see. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean that's kind of out in your neck of the woods, Christina. I've been tracking these guys out in Lake Jordan. So, see, here I go getting behind the curveball here on the chats again. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Thank you. He knows it too. He's a happy boy. Oh, hey, you brought your baby bullets home. Cool. I can't wait to see them afterwards. Those of you guys that don't know, we've got the Zoom meetup after the live stream tonight. And it's typically for all our contributing Patreon members. I put a different link out so you guys take note. I put one out for all of the Patreons. So tonight, whether you're a free member, contributing member, the link is up there. And if anybody has any problems at all getting in, make sure you hit me up on Messenger or something, and we'll make sure you get the link. But it is on the Patreon page. Might be in an email, I think is how I sent it out. So, let's see. Jordy, hey, how you doing? Yeah, we might have to get Bob out. He hasn't been out in a little while. Oh, let's see. Worm was saying not necessarily relevant, but wondering how many people are using infrared deep heat projectors. I installed some into places I was using ceramic bulbs, and I'm seeing great behavior changes already. I have got the ones that I have those on. I'm still using ceramics, but I haven't used those personally. But I'm sure there's a bunch of people that have. So if anybody's got any input on those, feel free to speak up. Because the only thing I use is the UVA, UVB bulbs, radiant heat panels, and their ceramic heat emitters. So if anybody has any input on that one, by all means, jump up. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Tara made it. Let's see. Yes, Charlie decided to make it out tonight. And now he's going to start getting all energetic and trying to run all over the place. Hey, Caesar, good to see ya. Yeah, Charlie doesn't come out near as much as he should. He's been pretty lazy lately. But come on over here. Okay. He's just going to hang out and stare out the window. Oh, let's see. All right. So, yeah, let me put this picture up here. This is, was really excited to actually get these. And I can't see my button. Let's see if I can. There we go. There it is. Let's see if I can put that full screen and zoom in a little bit. So yeah, this is one of the pictures that I caught the other day. There was 3 or 4 different eagles flying around, and managed to get a couple really cool shots of these guys going at it. the young one up here, we see a lot of juveniles out here, and the juvenile had caught a fish, and the adult over here was chasing him around trying to get it. And it was, I didn't even see any of this at the time. Everything was going by so quickly. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew is I seen like feathers and bird ass and a big ball in the sky, and I just pointed my camera at it and hit the shutter. And at 20 frames a second, this thing does pretty good, and it catches everything. So I got out and I started looking at these things after the fact, man, and it blew my mind. It was so cool, and they were so far away too that I didn't get a detail that I wanted, but in general, did get some really cool shots out of that. So yeah, that is the kind of stuff that I'm chasing out there. Let's see. Let me put this picture up too, because this one's kind of cool. So apparently this spot, and I know this is bird stuff instead of snake stuff, but it's still kind of cool. Let me see if I can put this one up for you guys real quick. This is easily one of my favorite shots. Damn it. Stop. Get over here. I've got my camera right in the way of some of these buttons. There we go. Yeah, this is one the other day where I was watching one sitting up on a branch and seen another one just out of the blue come up and land almost right on top of her. It's such cool stuff to see. So, but anyway, I could sit here and go through pictures all friggin' night long, but I won't. I do have some stuff that I would really like to do, though. There's I found out not too far away from the place where I go out to chase these bald eagles around. There's a falconry place out there. So I'd like to put out a video on that. I'd like to go out and do like an interview with them and have them, kind of talk through their process and show us some of the animals and stuff. So that will be on the horizon if I can talk to these guys and get that lined up. So, let's see. Oh, I wanted to get an Ackie. Ackies are pretty common. A lot of people start with those because they're smaller and they tend to be a little bit gentler. Things like Nile monitors. So, let's see. Hey, Nicole, good to see ya. Yeah, I am really happy with how those pictures have been coming out. Especially for as far off as they are. Oh, nice. Jordy was talking about the courses from Simon D'Entremont. Don't know if you spell it right, but the man is an absolute genius photographer when it comes to natural environment and wildlife shots. Yeah, if you guys have got any interest in wildlife photography at all, the guy that Jordy just mentioned as Simon D'Entremont, he's from Canada, and he's got a YouTube channel with like 500,000 subscribers on it because he is just a fantastic photographer and teacher, and anything that you want to know about gear or how to use it, how to work with it. Just the guy is a genius, and I've watched just about all of his stuff. So yeah, if there's anything that you guys ever want to know about photography, just come back to this, look up the guy's name. The only thing Simon got wrong is, oh no, that's right. It's spelled right. It's just the space is in the wrong place. It's D''Entremont, I think is how he spells his name. But yeah, just a fantastic guy. I have learned so much from him, and hopefully it's starting to show. We're going to start getting some really cool stuff. One thing, the place where I go, as the fall comes, especially into the wintertime, when the lake starts to freeze over out there, then the eagles can't fish in it. Of course, they can't fish through the ice. So they come just south of it, down by the dam out there. And apparently there's like 20, 30 of them flying around at any given time. So this fall, they're going to come out with some really amazing stuff, I'm sure. So definitely looking forward to it. Oh, yeah. Tegus are great. Had somebody trying to sell me a red tegu when I went up to the Charlotte show not too long ago. It was so tempting. It was such a great lizard. Those guys are cool. Somebody else knows about Simone. Cool. What I miss? Oh, cool. Yeah, I had to scroll up a little bit. And I missed that. She said it was a protected breeding program up at Jordan Lake. Awesome. I didn't know there was a protected breeding program. Last I heard is there was like 25 nests around that area, which works out really good because it means there's a bunch of them out there to take pictures of. Adrian, how you doing? Yeah, everything's okay. It's a little stressful out here. We're working on managing some things, but outside of that, I've always been that kind of person. I guess I work best under pressure anyway, so doing our best to just maintain balance and keep working with, okay. So Charlie's going to hang out here on the arm of the chair now. Where's he at? There he is. Happy boy. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Do they have to go into brumation? Yep. Talking about tegus, I'm sure. Yeah, they brumate, and it can be stressful. I know when I first got my first female tegu some years back, as soon as I got her, like a month later, she went into brumation, and it's just the weirdest thing to have the enclosure like lights off and can't see them and all that stuff for months at a time, but that's their natural cycle. So let's see. Jordy was asking what camera gear I'm using for the vlogs. Planning on getting an Alpha series with Sony. I've heard good things about Sony. I shoot Canon stuff, so like the camera that I'm using right now is a Canon M50 Mark II crop sensor, 24 megapixels. So it's kind of like a pocket on the go camera. The one that I've been using for my wildlife photography is a Canon R5, 45 megapixel, which is really awesome. I'm really happy with how well it's working with the lenses that I've got. Though I've got to have really good light to get really good pictures. It doesn't do really well in low light, but yeah, I just time my stuff better. Still managed to pull off some pretty amazing stuff with it here and there. So, super chat, appreciate it. Absolutely, yeah. Jump down, hit the like button, and all that cool stuff. And yeah, get on the Patreon, man. We have a whole lot of fun out there. After our live streams, we get on. It's been pretty busy on the Patreon here lately. I can't always hang out for the 2-3 hours that everybody else does, so I'll end up making somebody else moderator or falling off, which will probably be the case tonight. I'm going to stay on for a little bit, but hey, what are you doing? Get over here. But yeah, it'll be it'll be a short night for me tonight, for sure. But I will definitely be there. Have I ever seen any lace or parentes? There was actually, they had a lace monitor that everybody was drooling over down at the Charlotte show when we was down there. Things are awesome. They've got an awesome price tag on them too. So, but yeah, I would definitely, once we get enough room for more stuff, a lace monitor. Of course, I don't know. I really like the parentes and the looks of those. I don't hardly ever see any of those out here. But that would be great. I think I would actually prefer a parente over a lace monitor, to be honest. So, let's see. There any of those? Oh, cool. Christina's got, I think I saw something about that too. I think I saw you guys post that not too long ago. Yeah, Megan had recently gotten on. She's been on the last couple Patreons, which has been good to see. She keeps lizards and hasn't got any snakes yet, but we're all bad influences with our snakes, so it won't take long. Yeah, the Bell's Phase lace monitors are awesome. So, and yes, Charlie's a good boy. Hey, super chat, Adrian, I appreciate it so much. Always a huge help. And like I said, I still haven't found that. I'm just gonna have to go out to Clint's place one of these days and have him record for me the whole the whole super chat yell that he does. Oh wow. Christina was saying at the auction at the Klubert Fest raised over 11 grand for reptile conservation. Awesome. Yeah, that's going to be another one of my, I've got that first video put out for the conservation topic, and we're going to have some more stuff coming out about that as well. I know one of the first videos I'm going to make is probably one of the best success stories in reptile conservation, and that is the crested geckos. Those were thought for a long time to be completely extinct. They found them, they came into captive breeding, and now you cannot go to a reptile expo without seeing half of the crested geckos, which is really awesome. So really gives us a lot of ammo towards the people that say, oh, you shouldn't keep these animals in captivity, you should let them live in the wild and leave them alone. Problem is, this humanity is functionally retarded, and if we just leave things alone, then the rest of us are going to end up screwing up their habitats and they're going to end up going extinct. So captive breeding programs are really important. So it's one of the things that we're really going to be hitting hard on the on that series. So is the importance of keeping some of these animals in captivity so that they Charlie's trying to go into my camera bag. Yeah, Chase was saying every time I say it's a short night, turns into a verbal hostage situation induced by a bombardment of questions till after midnight. Yeah, I have a hard time pulling away from those things because once a conversation starts, man, it will go on all night. A lot of fun, though. Oh, cool. Tara ordered 2 more snakes, too. See, we're all going to be looking for bigger houses at this rate. Hey, it absolutely does, man. We appreciate all the support we can get. especially since we don't do any sales here, any kind of breeding programs or anything like that. It's all just the educational content and this. So yeah, man, all the support absolutely helps, especially under the circumstances. So much appreciated. Yeah, everybody knows Chase is speaking the truth. Well, hey Al, how you doing, man? I was saying his grandson lives in Gastonia, and he said there's some trees down, but not too bad. He said he's 15 minutes away, or he said 15 minutes away is a different story. Yeah, it's crazy. I was just out by Charlotte the other day, and of course it's not bad. But for those of you guys that don't know, I'm in central North Carolina, about 2 hours away from most of the storm damage out there. And from everything that I've heard and everything that I've seen, it's just absolutely terrible out there. So sad to see. I know there's been a lot of people moving out that way to help. We've got friends. Ruth and I've got friends that are like friends with pilots and all that have been going out there and dedicating their time to helping to get supplies out. Been seeing all kinds of videos of people going out on horseback with pack mules and things like that, just trying to access people. And of course, for anybody, and we'll hit this topic really quick because it's really important. For anybody that's wanting to contribute, just make sure that you're researching and making sure that you're giving the legit agencies first of all, because unfortunately, anytime there's something like this happens, some people will capitalize on it, and there's less than scrupulous people out there. But another thing to keep in mind too, especially for everybody that's nearby, whenever there's a natural disaster or something on this scale, I know a lot of people, if you've got the time and the money, want to get out there and get boots on the ground to help. The first thing you need to make sure that you're doing is not adding to the problem and becoming a casualty yourself. If you want to physically go out and help with boots on the ground, my recommendation is to find an agency that's going out and get underneath them and just help provide manpower underneath that certain agency, whether it be a police department, a fire department, or if you've got some kind of emergency response team or something like that you can get involved with. Definitely do that, because it's real easy if you're just going out by yourself and you're loading up your truck and you're like, okay, I'm going to take some stuff out and I'm going to do what I can. Well, you not knowing the area, not knowing what's going on, even a week after a flood, roads can fall out, things like that. You can become a casualty and just add load to the system and add something else there for everybody to do. You add different burden to them. So you got to make sure that you're doing it smart. Don't go out into these areas just Lone Ranger and thinking you're going to go out there and save the world. Definitely get some kind of a support system over you so that you can go out and contribute safely. And don't become a casualty, because there's everything that I've seen out there. It looks like it's a really treacherous situation all the way around. Any number of things can happen. So just keep that in mind when you're going out to help with stuff like that. But as for here, haven't had anything except an excessive amount of rain. The only real inconvenience has been that, of course, those floodwaters start making their way across the state. And I went out last week and did some trailblazing up by Jordan Lake and found me the perfect spot to catch the eagles first thing in the morning. Went in, made me a little deer nest, ripped my pants all apart going through the briars and whatnot, getting a spot set up where I had a good field of view. Went back 4 days later, and my whole spot was underwater. The river had come up 3 feet. So that's kind of a bummer. So I've got to wait for the river to come down a little bit before I can before I can get back out there and take advantage of that spot. But it's the spot where they end up circling and hunting and all that stuff. So anyway, those of you guys that follow me on Facebook, you'll see all those pictures come out when I do. So hey, Mother Trucking Reptiles is here. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Jeremy and Mark were fortunately able to get out of there. So good to hear that they're doing okay. For sure. Oh yeah, Dave was talking about Cresties. Gotta love the Cresties, man. Those things are adorable. Yeah, I had seen you post something. She's talking about carried some generators out to that area. I'd seen something about that. Hugs, how you doing, man? And thank you, sir. Yeah, he's being lazy tonight, ain't you? He's a good boy. He doesn't come out very often. I always end up looking over and feeling bad. Chloe over here, our little lavender retic, always gives me the puppy dog eyes. Gives me a guilty conscience, and I got to go get her out. Oh, yeah. I did forget the rattlesnake mug. I was pushing it today. Had time to rush in, get my 1 cup of coffee. So. Oh, let's see. Here's her. Oh, yeah. USARK posted pictures of a hurricane heading to Florida. Yeah, I'd seen that too. So any of the folks down in Florida have got another one coming in right behind this one. This one looks like it's coming in laterally, heading east across the state. So what's probably going to happen is it's probably going to cut across and then up the coast. So it looks like they'll at least give the mountains a break on this one, fortunately. Okay, I'll let him go over there. I'm going to put him back in just a second. Hey, Brian, good to see you, man. What are you doing over here? I had to quit trying to rip my camera bag open. Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put him back here in just a second. And then we'll get... I may get Bob out because we haven't had Bob out in a little while. Everybody needs their Bob update. So, how long is he? You know, I haven't measured him. If I had to guess, I'd say probably 6 feet, maybe. Something like that. He's a boa imperator, so he's not going to get terribly huge. So, Tara's egging him. I am not going to tell him you said that. Tara's egging him on to raise hell. Okay, let me get him off of here. And I'm going to go put him back in his house in a second. What are you doing? You going to come see me? You're such a good boy. You really are. You're a good snake. Good boy. All right. Let me get him put back. And we'll get Bob out. Come on, buddy. All right. Be right back. You guys hold the fork down for a second. So yeah, Charlie gave me another guilt trip for putting him back home. Latched on to me like mad and wouldn't let me go. Oh, let's see what Bob's up to. Hey, bud. Come on. Come on, bud. Ah. Made a mess. Oh. So yeah, as you can see, Bob's doing good. I'm actually really surprised he didn't hiss at me at all, taking him out of that enclosure, which I think is just about a first. He typically protests a little bit, lets me know that he doesn't want to be messed with. But the last few days, I'll be sitting here and it's really funny. I'll be like sitting there looking out the window or something like that. And I'll see him just sitting there at the glass looking at me, tongue flicking. And he's looking like he wants to come out. So I'll go in and get him. He'll protest a little bit. And then he just kind of chills out and comes hang out. So, yeah, for those of you guys that have kept up with him, you know kind of what a big deal that is, because he completely hated me and everybody else when I first got him. So, let's see. Spoilers, rough scale. Let's see. Al had a question. Today's retics developed some small areas of rough scales on her back. Some scales have fallen off. Her belly is fine. Thinking it could be because of low humidity. It's not typical for scales to fall off. One thing, and I kind of wish I would have had Charlie out here. If you have, depending on what kind of sticks and branches and things like that you've got in the enclosure, if the scales are coming off of their back, it could be that she's getting stuck on something as she's going through it. Because chill out. It's okay. I had the same thing happen with Charlie when I put his enclosure together. Because I made the mistake of putting a branch in there that had a V in it that was too tight. And apparently what had happened is he'd gotten in there and it just kind of pinched him a little bit and it scraped his back. So he's still got a couple dark spots on his back from where all that stuff healed over. So if they've got scales coming off their back, the first thing I would do is just check the enclosure and see if there's anything in there that they could be scraping them things off on. Other than that, I've never experienced scales just coming off. If it's, it's hard to say without seeing it. If you can't come up with anything, it may not be a bad idea to go ahead and get them to the vet. Make sure that she doesn't have any kind of a fungal infection or anything back there that might be affecting her skin. Low humidity, I don't know that would do it. So yeah, my first thing would do is if she's got scales just coming off her back, I'd check, make sure there's nothing in there she's scraping on that's actually ripping them off. And if there's nothing like that going on, then it may not be a bad time to take her to the vet. Just get her checked and make sure that she doesn't have any kind of an infection before it gets worse. The humidity would have to be really, really low for her skin to start suffering like that. So. He says to bring Bob out before Tara comes through the camera. Yeah, we got some Bob now. He's out there. Those of you guys that aren't familiar with him, this is Bob. He's a Sri Lankan python. And we got a whole series on him. if you haven't seen it yet, go to the channel and look up the playlists. And the series about Bob, all of them start with a little blood drop icon in the title for good reason. Because he tried kicking my ass for the first several times that I'd worked with him, but we're buddies now. Anyway. We good now? You don't want to kill me no more? This is the only snake that's ever bit me on a live stream, too. It bit me right in the side of the face one night. No goofball. 2 favorite snakes in the whole world coming out today. Yeah. Yeah, Bob's a good boy. Adrian was saying BC decided to relieve herself between the couch cushions. That's always fun. I know Monty, when she was younger, I would take her out and let her run around on a bed for a little while, but that stopped the first time she decided to unleash on the bed. Yeah, Bob did not protest one bit coming out tonight. So, hey, Chris, how you doing? Good to see you, man. How you got suspended for your job for some BS? I can relate to that. I actually got cut loose from mine a few weeks ago now. I don't know, 3 weeks ago? Which I won't go into. But I will say that corporate sector and civilian world does not value integrity quite as much as some of the other places I've come from. So pretty sad to see. But yep. I cut it loose and don't let myself rage about it. So let's see. He does. You put him in there. He's a lot prettier to look at than me. And he's getting pretty big too. Bob has come full circle. Yes, he has. This is a success story. And no uncertain terms. Yeah, Christina was saying if your scale's falling off for no reason, to lean towards some kind of dermatitis. And see, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen very many skin issues really with snakes. I guess they can get dermatitis. But I was saying she doesn't have anything rough in the enclosure. Could it be too close to the heat bulb? Could be. You definitely see some if it's bad enough to injure the scales, what I would do is if you're concerned about the heat bulb, then I would take like a stone or something and maybe prop it up so that it's maybe 6 inches away from the bulb, and then take a heat reading on it. And if you're coming up with some really crazy high temperatures underneath that thing, then it's possible that the snake's getting up there and getting burnt on it. It's one of the things that I really like about the radiant heat panels is they don't really get hot enough to injure the snakes, whereas something like a bulb, they get they get too close to that, they can do some damage to themselves. So, big fan of the radiant heat panels for these guys. I do have one enclosure that's got a ceramic heat emitter on it, but there's a big enough standoff. And the opening is kind of sealed up so that the heat radiates down in there. Not too much of it escapes. And I don't have to worry about anybody getting burnt on it. So. Oh, yeah, Nicole was saying that Tyler had a snake get under his water bowl and lost some scales. Had been a year, and you can, yeah. A lot of times you can, a lot of times even after they heal up, you can see it for a little while. So, yeah, even Brian knows Bob used to be a hellion. Yeah, James was asking how big these get. I'm not 100% sure how big he's going to get. Sri Lankans are they're like a locality Indian rock python. So we know Indian rock pythons get pretty sizable. And with him being a locality, I'm thinking it's going to be really similar to the same way locality retics are. So he is going to be smaller. I'm certain. And he's been pretty slow growing so far, even though he is eating like a champ. He is tearing up anything that I ever put in there. So I don't know. Being a male too, I'm thinking I could see him getting maybe 7-8 feet, something like that. He may get bigger than that, but I'm not really anticipating him being a monster by any stretch of the imagination. There we go. Stay focused over there. I'm going to keep hiding behind the snake so he can sit there and keep eyeballing you guys. So, let's see. Oh, here we go. I'm starting to get... Yeah, I feel you, man. Certainly do. Yeah, Chris was saying he's been there for 8 years. See. Hey, Rex, how you doing, man? Says, what's up? He's about to feed your snakes right now. Feeding up a rat. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to be... My feeding days are coming up over the next couple days. I've got to feed the big retics this week, too, so... See, Turtle, how you doing? Hey, Kenley, good to see ya. Yeah, I'm just making sure I get all caught up on the chat real quick. Chloe is doing good. Chloe's been hanging out with me the last couple days. So I'm going to get her out in a minute. I'm really surprised Bob is just being as quiet as he is here. You're just happy to be out, ain't you? You just freaking amaze me. I would really like to know what's going on in his head nowadays. Because like I said, man, when I first got him, he was just absolutely insane. And now he's one of the most chill snakes we got here. Oh, I missed a question. Let me go back up. Oh, let's see where we at. The question is, put a retic in a larger enclosure and she hates it. Won't come out of her hide. Doesn't use the extra room. I'm assuming she will adjust. More likely than not. She'll adjust at some point. Give her time. So I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, as long as she's got to hide someplace where she can go and feel safe and stuff like that. One thing you can do is, like, instead of if you're trying to get her used to more room and to hide, you can try and coax her out with food when it comes feeding time. instead of going over and putting it right in front of the hide all the time, maybe trying to drop feed her or something and let her come out and come find it, stuff like that. Just to get her out cruising around a little bit more. But I'm sure over time she'll get used to it. Yeah, Rex was asking if this is a Sri Lankan. It's a male Sri Lankan. So get over there. Say hi. See, yeah. Kenley was asking if we already talked about the hurricane. Yeah, we talked about it some. It's been pretty rough out here for the folks that are, and I would have never thought that a hurricane would have wiped out the mountains like that. That's just insane. So. Yep, we sure did. He has been completely rewired. Let's see. You want to go back home? You want to go back home, buddy? Get out of the light and make room for Chloe so she can come out. Put her back. There you go, buddy. How about I let go of my hand? That's so cool. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, you know what? Adrian was making a joke about Bob waiting to go on the couch, but he has done really good. He hasn't muffed on me or anything since we got him calmed down. So, Hey, Panther, good to see ya. Let's see. Yeah, Christina makes a good point. Not every animal is going to adjust well to a bigger enclosure. A lot of times, we get all excited. We're like, okay, we can get this snake in, big enclosure now, and it's nicer, and look at this, and it's awesome. And we're all excited about it, and then they get in it, and they're like, what the hell is going on? And they go into their hide, and they don't move. I had the same thing with Niles. Every time I've upgraded his enclosure, it changes, freaks him out. And, I mean, he would go on hunger strikes and not move and all that stuff. Sometimes for a month, but just kind of unusual for a monitor lizard. But yeah, sometimes it just takes patience when their environment changes. It takes them a little bit of time to transition over and feel at home again. Brown is saying his dwarf retakes an 8th day soaking in a tub. Is that normal? Yep. Yeah, my my retics will sit in their tub forever sometimes. Yeah, it really is. Nicole was saying she loves how much Bob trusts me now. It's really it's surreal sometimes to see a change in these animals when you work with them for a while like that. You can almost see to where he's just really content and likes being out. So it is really cool. Animals over people. I completely agree. I love that name. I was just thinking that when everybody was talking about Animal Con. I was like, Animal kind is cool, but there's more people than there are animals out there. I'd rather stay with the animals. My own little corner of the world. Whether I'm here with my reptiles or sitting out by the river's edge, hanging out with the bald eagles, that's typically better than hanging out with people. A few people here and there is cool. 100, 200 people running around an expo or something like that, I'm good for like a few hours, and then it's time to go. Not a crowds person at all. Oh, there was a question here. I need to hit that first. Is it okay for my BCI if I put several inches of damp substrate with a thin layer of dry on top of it to keep it from scale rot, or will that affect the humidity and not penetrate through the dry layer? Trying to kind of get a picture in my head of what you're doing. You don't want to make it too damp down low. You don't want it too thick and too damp down low, because then you just get that all of that moisture that sits down there. And I mean, you don't want it doing things like growing mold or anything like that. I think it's better, and if anybody else has a different opinion, by all means, jump out there and say it. But I think it is better to have a thinner layer of substrate for the snakes, and just you got to spray it down more often to keep it damp. But give it an opportunity to dry out some, because you definitely don't want to get everything locked in and get it so deep that you start growing mold and having those kind of issues. Because I think you could start running into maybe something with a scale rot situation like that. But like with my enclosures back here, I keep them like there's half paper and half sphagnum moss on them. So they've got the opportunity to go over and they're dry under their heat, or I just spray down the moss and keep the humidity up that way. So, but I don't let anything stay really saturated like that for a long time. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, if anybody else has anything to add to that, by all means, jump down in the comments and let me know. But that's my thoughts. I mean, yeah, keep the stuff moist and all that, but I don't think you want to have it too saturated for too long. So. Let's see. Yeah, it's running 73 to 75. Yeah, you're fine. That's good humidity. You should be good. Uh-oh. I'm getting pictures of a boa. Nice. That's a good looking animal. Sweet. Do you have that one now? Let me see. I know a couple different people said that they was getting a couple different snakes. So let me see. That's a gorgeous little animal. Cool. Oz. Do you mind if I put the picture up so everybody can see what I'm looking at here? Get over here and see if I can get the... This is Danita. I'm going to put this picture up so everybody can see. This is a gorgeous snake. Over here where I can see that. Look at that. Is that not one of the prettiest snakes you ever seen ever, or what? Another picture. Wee, look at that. Love those eyes. It's awesome how that pattern looks like it just follows right along there, like through the eye and everything. It's such a gorgeous little animal. That's awesome. says 5 months old. Cool. Oh, let's see. Adrian was saying something about soaking the cocoa and letting it dry for a day or two. I wouldn't saturate the substrate. Get it damp and don't put it in too thick. It will naturally dry off in the enclosure over time. But yeah, you should be fine just damping it up, putting it in there as long as it's not really thick. Check it the next day, a couple days, you'll start to feel it dry off, I'm fairly certain. I got to keep spraying these guys down all the time. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about drying it before adding it to the enclosure. Man. Oh, wow, that's cool. Benito is saying the tips of her tongue are white. That's awesome. Yeah. Erica's on point. As long as the steak isn't constantly in wet substrate, then not likely to see scale rot. Well, I've got a couple people that will send. Like Danita just sent me pictures of the new boa that she got. So don't typically put those up, but every now and then we do. Let's see. Yeah. If you're trying to contact me, don't send it to me personally, because I rarely ever even open up my personal Facebook. The only thing I'm ever really on is the Intrepid Exotics one. So yeah, I'm always on there. And sometimes it takes me a while to find stuff too, because if I haven't already messaged with somebody, a lot of times it goes through to spam. And it doesn't always notify me, so sometimes it takes a while. Man. Starting to lose my voice tonight. That's not good. So real quick, before I completely lose my voice, we're going to go over the USARK stuff really quick. And okay, let me share this screen. Everybody can see what we got going on. Okay, so for those of you guys, I've seen a couple people jump into the chat that I haven't seen before. So if you have not been on the live stream before, we go over the USARK website every day, or every Saturday rather, just to make sure that everybody knows about it, and we do our best to peer pressure everybody into getting their USARK membership. You can go on, when you hit usark.org's home screen, first thing you see is all the alerts, all the stuff that is currently going on that we need to pay attention to. And we've got a couple things. Beginning of the year, we had, and Christina just dropped the link down there too. Had 5 really worrisome ones that we actually beat beginning of the year. A couple other things going on. Memberships are real easy to get. Let's go to the membership thing. I think probably most people end up doing the $40 a year one. If you can do more, awesome, do it. But it is very important that we all help these guys out. And you also get USARK Florida. I'll pull that up really quick too. Yeah, where are we at? USARK, Florida. And then that is the link that Christina just put down. So most of us, I think, actually support both of them because whatever happens in Florida ends up rippling, especially to the states that are close, like here in North Carolina. So there we go. What was that? I must have missed something. YouTube didn't like you saying Facebook. Did it censor the word Facebook? That's funny. Oh man. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, stuff like that, things that you're worried about, then by all means, hit me up on Facebook. That's I tend to keep that up anytime I'm working on a computer here. Messenger is a great way to contact me. I do check periodically, see if anything's in the spam. But yeah, if I don't have the Eric was saying that she censored it. But yeah, if I don't see it come through immediately, I will see it and answer back in one way, shape, or form. And drop a comment down here in the videos as well. I try and I think I catch all of them that come through. Not very often a YouTube comment and it gets by me. So I try and at least read all of them. So, so I think tonight I am going to Tara, you did it again. Another super chat. Thank you so much. Acquaintance of yours pulled the shed off a 3-year-old corn snake when it wasn't ready. She said she was helping the skin. It was pretty sticky. Today the snake is dead. Do you know what actually happened and why? Okay. 3-year-old corn snake. Huh. That is, man, that's crazy. Huh. I can't imagine somebody going in and ripping the skin off of their snake. So she was because there's nothing wrong with helping your snake shed. I do it with my retics all the time. They start to, they look like they're getting ready to shed, or they'll partially shed, and I'll soak them for a little while and help them. But I mean, you've literally got to do some damage to that animal for it to be dead. I don't know enough about that to have an educated guess. I've never heard of anybody helping a shed and killing the snake. There's got to be something else going on. So, have no idea. Got to be something else to that. Because I've helped a lot of snakes shed before and never injured any of them like that. Not to scare you or anything, but I would definitely, Tara was saying you just held the snake yesterday and you found out it is dead today. I would definitely try and keep an eye. If you could, maybe see if the owner will take that snake down and have a necropsy, have it tested. Because if it just spontaneously died like that, you want to make sure that you're not transferring whatever it could have possibly had to your own collection. It's something to think about. I would, if you haven't already, I would sterilize any clothes that you were wearing, any jewelry that you might have had on when you was handling that snake, just in case. Because, like I said, helping a snake shed shouldn't kill it. There was something else going on with it. You want to make sure that you want to make sure you're cleaned up enough to where you're not going to be passing anything on to your own collection too. And I would definitely try and do everything I could to find out exactly what happened to it. Yeah, Christine's the same way. No references for assisted sheds causing fatalities. There's definitely something else going on there. Yeah, cool. Good deal. Yeah, it's hard to say. If you hear anything about it, definitely let me know. I would be curious to find out. Yeah, just like Christina said, you're almost certain there's something else going on with that animal. So, oh man, let's see, an aggressive. All right, guys. Well, I am struggling. Plus, like I said, feels like I'm losing my friggin' voice. So, we're going to go ahead and call this one in. We're getting pretty close anyway. Right about 8:30 is when we start the Zoom call. I'm going to be on there for a little while, but you guys are not going to be able to peer pressure me into 3 hours tonight. But I do want to come hang out and see everybody for a little while. But like I said, let me know if you guys that are the paid Patreon folks have seen, have seen the link. Challenge accepted. I will find you. I will fake a friggin' heart attack if I got to. Of course, the way I'm feeling tonight, I may not have to fake it. But yeah, let me make sure you guys got the links and all that stuff for tonight. It is different than our normal one. Anytime we do the all Patreon one, it's going to be a different one. So I'm going to jump off here, take a couple minute break, and we'll go ahead and jump into that. But it was really good talking to everybody. If there's anything that I missed, like I said, feel free to drop it down in the comments of the video or something. We'll make sure we get around to it, or hit me up. Hey, we've got to joke about our own mortality. We can't avoid it. I think I'll live. I'm actually, oddly enough, I've been feeling a whole lot better since I've been doing this wildlife photography. It's been getting a lot more exercise. It's definitely good for me. So I ain't going anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. But yeah, it was good seeing everybody again. Keep an eye out. We're going to be working on more videos on the conservation stuff. And for all of you guys that are going to be hanging out on the Patreon, we'll get that started in a couple of minutes. And everybody else, have a safe rest of the weekend. If you're hanging out at Animal Con, tell everybody I said hello. And we'll see you guys next Saturday when we do our live stream again. And I will be spending all day Tuesday at the lake. So Wednesday, we should have some pretty cool pictures coming up on the Facebook page. So jump on there and keep an eye out. So, all right, guys, have a good night, and we will see you next Saturday.